Bing
'Tis the
bong,
season
ba-doom,
to be
ba-dum,
jolly
bum,
and
ba-doom, bum,
joyous.
ba-da, ba-ba-da-ba-da. Okay.
Girl.
I started the video with like a nice, calming sorting of fabric. And I was like, I need a place to put this fabric. I had messaged this person before. I was like, perfect. We'll meet up on whatever day. You know how Facebook Marketplace is. $5 for a filing cabinet. It looked like it was pretty clean. I will say it does look pretty clean.
Tell them about the filing cabinet prices. The price matching of the filing cabinet.
I did some price matching, which if you're buying something that there's multiple of on Facebook Marketplace, you should do too. Other people are selling like these sturdy filing cabinets for $50. I saw one for $80.
Now, I want to say that's not recently sold file cabinets.
That's true. You can't do that on Marketplace, I don't think.
Regardless, though, $5.
$5, good deal.
Good deal, kind of regardless.
And I was like, okay, sure. And she clearly just wants to get this out of her house. $5. She says, like, I can meet you on, what day was it? Tuesday at 3 o'clock. And I'm like, okay, sounds good. I'll be there. I show up. I borrow Mimi's car because I know that it's tall. I drive to this girl's house, which, to be fair, was only like 15 minutes from our house. I'm waiting. She's not there. And she's like, hey, my tire was running low on air, so I stopped at Kaiser such and such tires. They're putting air in my tires, and then, they're switching it out, and then I'll be on my way. And I'm like, okay, I can wait a little bit. Like, I had to go to a thing that night, but I had some time.
Let's open by saying, rude of her to have not texted you.
Yes.
Hey, sorry, my tire did something weird.
I was almost there.
This is a classic thing that happens with Facebook Marketplace where one or the other of the person becomes flaky and then just gets increasingly flaky.
Yeah. Sometimes it's me, to be fair. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I really don't want to leave my house.
Never mind, I don't feel like getting this.
Never mind, sell it to someone else. Or I've been like, can we meet on another day? And I say, like, my baby's sick or something.
Yeah.
Best part of, well, not the best part of having a baby, but great perk of having a baby, you can always be like,
easy excuse. Maybe you're just
sleeping.
Too tired.
Yeah. But I'm sleeping, really. Anyway, But not in this case. In this case, I wanted this filing cabinet. I was the one who was on time.
Right. To put the fabric in.
Yes, because I wanted to put the fabric in. The outside of it looked very clean in the picture. Go team. I'm sitting at this girl's house. I'm sitting there. She's not there. Eventually, it gets to a point where I need to leave because I had to go to like a PTA meeting that night, essentially. And I was like, okay, like, hey, like, I have to go. Sorry. But, like, can you do tomorrow? Basically any time. And she was like, well, I can't at all tomorrow. I'm busy all day tomorrow. What about Thursday? And I'm like, Thursday sounds great. And she's like, someone else is coming to pick something up at 8:30 a.m. At which point I realized this girl doesn't live here.
Yes.
So I go to her profile, and she is clearly like, there was an estate sale at this house. I don't know if she's like related to the person whose house it was or if she works for a company. I don't think she works for a company based on how the rest of the story is going to go.
Or at least she's not selling it through the lens of this company. Regardless, though, it is important to know it's not her house.
Right.
And
so
that's
I'm feeling less
complication.
Judgmental. Not that I was that judgmental before. No. Things happen, whatever. So
it's
I'm like,
fine for someone to be busy for an entire day.
Yeah.
Especially for a $5 file cabinet.
Yes. So I'm like, perfect. I will be there at 8:30 a.m., which is early in case you can't tell, on Thursday because I had an appointment, a PT appointment at 10. And I was like, I'll go do this.
Physical therapy, not parent-teacher association.
Yes. I was like, I'll go do this. I'll drop off the filing cabinet. I'll go to physical therapy. Sounds good. Hour and a half should be plenty of time for me to move a filing cabinet. It's 8:15 today. Today's Thursday. 8:15 this morning. I woke up. Didn't wake up my baby, which is, by the way, a miracle because he was 2 inches from me. My alarm goes off. I immediately get it. Nobody wakes up but me. I am up. I'm changed. I message her. Hey, I'm about to leave because it's 8:15 and I'm meeting her at 8:30.
Right.
She says, oh, I won't be there till 9. Okay. So I was like, oh, I can't do 9. I have an appointment at 10. I told her 9:30 because I didn't want her to be like... Judgy, yeah, about how much time I might
But we already know she's late.
Right. And I was like, she was like, well, my son's flight came in at 3 a.m., and so I'm kind of slow this morning. Again, totally fine.
Yeah.
When she got in at 3 a.m. from picking him up, she should have then messaged me and said, like, hey, I'm just getting home. I can't do 8:30 in the morning. Could you do 10 or whatever? And then when I woke up to my alarm, I could have seen that and been like, oh, I can sleep in.
Right.
But whatever. I had some Vlogmas work to do, so I stayed up. I go over there. I'm editing. Then I'm like, okay, I can't do that. Can you do 11:15? And she's like, yeah, but I have to borrow Mimi's car because, again, it's a filing cabinet. It's huge. And we have a Yaris. And Mimi can't do 11:15, which is totally fine. It's her car. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I messaged the woman, and I'm like, hey, could you do 3? Because Felix had a different appointment. Could you do 3? No, I won't be there at 3. You were supposed to be there at 8:30. So
right.
Seems like you should just wait around for me, but okay. So I'm like... Okay, so I literally call and cancel my physical therapy appointment to go get this filing cabinet because, again, I really want it, and I want it soon so that I can stop talking to this person and having to coordinate all these moving pieces. I'm like, what if we come at 10? She's like, great. Do you have someone to help you move it? Where was that? The first 2 appointments that I made with you.
Right.
Because I assumed she was going to help me move it, and then when I got it here, Felix would help me get it out.
Right.
That's what I would do.
Typically what happens when you're buying something from Facebook Marketplace, unless in the listing is, this is super freaking heavy.
Bring someone.
I'm not helping you. Bring someone.
Also, when something's heavy, the right thing to do, unless it's some sort of like collector's antique, is to put it for free.
Right.
That is the Facebook Marketplace rules.
In her defense, I do feel like when things are free, people more comfortably flake on picking up an item.
I can hear that.
They want you to be $5 invested.
Yeah.
But this continues to be annoying, guys.
So I'm like, no, but I guess I'll wake my husband up and be like, I've canceled my appointment already at this point.
Right.
Can we go get this filing cabinet? And we take the baby with us because Mimi had already watched him twice this week, and like he's a pretty happy-go-lucky baby. Like, he likes to go on a little adventure usually. That's gonna play a part into the story as well. So we're like, we'll take the baby. Like, he's got a car seat in Mimi's car. We can fold down the other side. The filing cabinet will slide in. What can it take? 20 minutes? Foolish of us. So we get there.
I wouldn't even say us because my brain's not turned on and I've had no coffee. I functionally have rolled out of bed, put on clothes, brush my teeth, and Morgan's like, she's like, you have to roll out of bed and put on clothes and brush your teeth.
That's not true. I asked very nicely.
Is it a filing cabinet or a file cabinet? I've only ever heard them called file cabinets, and you keep saying file.
Oh, I've always heard filing cabinet. File cabinet.
It's a file cabinet.
Anyway.
You put files in it.
You do your filing in it.
No, sorry. I'm just saying, I think this might be regional.
Divorce. Anyway.
Divorce.
Beheaded. Cabinet.
Divorce. Cabinet. Survive.
Persevere.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
And yet she persisted.
Yes.
Pokemon Go to the cabinet.
So, I'm like, okay, I guess I'll ask my husband to come. Since you won't help me. And again, I don't mind that she's not helping.
No, that's fine.
This is another thing where it's like, you could have just communicated that.
This is all just bad communication. Like,
also, the listing, I wish I'd taken a screenshot of it. It's gone now, but it was like, file cabinet, $5, and then, like, the description is like, file cabinet. Which, again, is fine. I don't care. So, that's on me. I should have asked for the dimensions. I could have done that, and I didn't. The one mistake, some might say, that I made. So, we drive the 15 minutes. We get there.
As we're on the way there, I'm like, why is the baby with us? And Morgan's like, I didn't want to ask Mimi to watch him. She's already watched him twice this week. That didn't seem fair. She's got stuff she's got to do. I'm like, okay. All right. Okay.
I think that's fair.
All of it's fair.
I never want to assume someone's going to, like, watch our kid, even if it's for, like, what I think is going to be 20 minutes, because it's like, he's ours. And I love to hang out with him. I hate to leave him here.
He's fun to hang out with.
So, anyway, and he's on the way there, so happy. He's got snacks. He's got daddy in the back seat.
Yeah.
He's having a grand old time.
Yeah. Morgan pulls up backwards. I'm like, you're about to be over the edge into this thing.
Yeah.
Morgan's like, I'm not moving the car. I'm like, okay.
Well, no, I'm so glad I pulled him backwards. Also, by the way, the house driveway is like this.
I'm glad you pulled up backwards. I was like, I think it's going to be a problem that this back wheel is about to go into these, like, steps. I think if I had space to get out of the car comfortably still on driveway, that would be better. But you're like, I don't want to move. And I'm like, okay, not my party. Not my party, not my cake.
So, she's waiting on us in the garage. And she's like, oh, it's up the stairs.
So she couldn't have moved it?
Or asked someone to move it.
She doesn't have a dolly.
She didn't say, when she messaged me,
stairs.
By the way, there's stairs.
Not only do you have to have a friend to lift this 8,000-pound file cabinet, but I haven't moved it from stairs to garage, which is then just a smooth slide push down.
Also, she had messaged me that after I'd already been, like, the third time I'm coming over.
Right.
She had said that her husband and her son had moved it. So they could have moved it to the garage if she wanted it out of the house. That's the other thing. If you want something gone, you have to make it as easy as possible.
Again, if she had just said, by the way, there's stairs.
Right.
It's just miscommunication after miscommunication.
Back to non-communication.
Not literally non.
It's not that she explained it badly. She didn't say anything at all.
No, and you shouldn't really have to push this woman about her awful file cabinet for 17,000 questions.
Yes!
She should just be offering up this information because it's annoying.
Yeah.
This heavy file cabinet.
So, we get there.
Yes.
There's stairs. It's not, like, all the way up to another floor, but it is, like, from this driveway that's like this up to where the house is. It's probably like 7 stairs that are all differing sizes.
Different heights. They're all concrete. They're all wet. It's raining.
Oh yeah, by the way, it's raining so hard.
It's raining so hard.
And I don't know if you know this, a filing cabinet is actually like smooth on the sides.
And yes.
Very difficult to grab in the rain, some might say.
It's slippery, some might say. So this woman, she's like, here's the file cabinet. It's super heavy. You guys are fucked. I don't know if the drawers come out.
Then she walks away.
Leaves. And I'm like, okay, all right. So Morgan's like, oh, they do come out. And she's like, all right.
Also, then she's like,
she's like, good. Oh, this just in. Good news. You can have all the old files. You can have these files that are the weight of lead for some fucking reason. You're welcome to just keep those. Those are for you, free of charge, with your $5 fucking file cabinet.
And they are quite literally...
I cannot express... I don't know what paper these are made out of. I don't know if this is... It appears to be from an elementary school.
Yeah.
That ended up in this person's house. I don't know if it transported from the year 1940, where they use heavy metals to make paper. I don't know. But it's like each drawer, like 20 pounds.
At least.
I lift a toddler who is 30 pounds on a regular basis. If we had not been strength training via toddler this entire time, we would have been crushed like a bug. Just like, it would have been real bad, like that bit over there. Throwback to bed bug.
Throwback to the bed bug.
Anyway, so she's like, great for you. And we're like, well, thanks.
I'm like, okay.
Okay.
And again, I think that when she opened it, I thought it was like that top drawer had like 30 files in it. And I was like, okay, I could put patterns in it. Like, that's great. No. The top one was the least heavy with its 30 files. There's one on the bottom that's got like, I don't know, 200?
There's certainly like an elementary school HIPAA violation taking place.
Probably, yeah.
But I guess, I don't know what the statute of limitations on that is since from the 1940s.
We can look through it. Yeah, here you go. Here's the files.
Great.
Okay.
Oh, that's so kind of you. Good. The baby can chew on them.
Right. So, and again, like I think we're just pulling up to the garage to get this filing cabinet. So our baby is in the car seat.
Right.
And we can see him the whole time. We didn't abandon him or anything.
No.
But we're like, okay, I guess we'll just like walk an extra 10 feet further than I would really be comfortable from the baby. And like the car's parked in the
like the door's open. We can hear
brake
him.
Is on. We can hear him
Chattering. He's in a car seat. Like
he's happy for the first like 10 minutes because it's raining and he likes that even though he's in the car. And anyway, and then after 10 minutes, he's losing his mind.
He's sick of us.
Because he thinks we're going to be, I don't know, crushed by a filing cabinet perhaps.
He was probably right.
So he's screaming.
Yeah, he's like.
And this woman's just sweeping
like,
in the garage.
Daddy!
Not offering to help at all.
Mommy!
And I don't know her from Adam, right? Like, maybe she's disabled. Maybe she can't. But again, if it were me seeing two people struggle and I couldn't help them, I'd be like, I'm so sorry it's so heavy. Like, I would help you, like, emotionally, but, like, I can't lift it for whatever reason.
I don't even think that she needs to do that. Again, if we had just had any of this information from jump,
I would have waited and had Erin come help us.
I would have been like,
Hannah.
It's a little funny that she's in the garage just sweeping, but I'd be like, whatever, it's not her problem. We're just Facebook Marketplace strangers.
Right.
But what I would like to say is that I like to think that there's a little bit of community in this world and a little bit of humanity. And so
You'd like to think.
When we have a Facebook, and the vast majority of Facebook Marketplace excursions we've had, we're getting something super stinking heavy because it's like fully wooden. Like both of the pantries that we got, we talked to the person and they're like, hey man, did you need any help lifting it? Like, I'm so sorry. Like, we have a smoke-free house that's just been in this garage the whole time. That's why it's so dusty. I didn't wipe it off. Like, there's like a give and take.
When we gave our old pink thing away, that was like, again, for free because it's so heavy.
Very cute family. It was their daughter was
moving out and she was like, into her first apartment. It would not fit
her first apartment. And we were like, and it's kind of bad, and we just painted it.
I very much in the description was like, this is a project for someone.
We got it from the side of the road.
It is clean.
It might fall over.
But it is rickety.
Budges up against it too hard. And it was her parents who were like, no, this is actually great. Thank you so much. Like, this is totally cool. It was good.
Most people are really communicating.
Or at least just like nice. There's just like an inkling towards
And this woman's not rude, but she's like...
She's a little rude. It's a little rude to not communicate any of this and then just sweep in the freaking
I
garage.
think it's because she wanted someone to take it, so she just didn't include all these bad facts about the filing cabinet.
And I don't mind to have a bad fact. I would rather have a bad fact. So as this is happening, we finally get this, and Morgan's like on the verge of tears because
I feel so bad.
She's like, I'm so sorry.
The baby's screaming,
Morgan's
and Felix is pissed because we haven't eaten breakfast or had coffee because I didn't think it was going to take an hour.
It was this Morgan's like top number one thing is that she does not want to be considered irresponsible.
That's true.
And so I think that was also part of it is that you were like, if I had just asked these questions, and I'm like, no, girl, because it would have been like pulling teeth to get these answers from this woman.
Clearly.
So we
take all the drawers out.
And we find very quickly that because this is like, it's so deep. I have not spent a lot of time around file cabinets in my life. These are like, it's like this long.
It's huge.
It's like,
I'll film it once we get it up
It's so deep, which is great for all the fabric that we're going to store.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be able to put my sewing machine in the bottom one.
It is not ideal for like taking up so much space in a car, particularly if all of the cabinets are out of it. So
also if there's a car seat in the middle of the car.
In the middle is also part of it. So Morgan has to move the car seat. We're like, maybe that'll help, and we'll like flip down these chairs. Maybe that'll help.
So the baby can be right next to the filing cabinet on the road. I think that's great.
It was not very far of a drive, and it was like mostly neighborhoods. It was fine. But so anyway, Morgan's like, we'll just tell her no. I don't mind being embarrassed. That's fine. We'll just tell her like, never mind.
Because there's like so much anger in your eyes, and the baby's screaming.
Yeah.
And I'm also angry.
Morgan's like,
and it's raining so hard.
We're all crashing out, and I'm like, no. Let's just try to get it in the back of the car. See what that looks like. It was like we could literally fit everything except for me
and one drawer.
And this woman hasn't been talking with us at all.
Well, I think she was homophobic. I'd like to be clear.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, screw her.
The stickers on the back of her car, it was like the
fire department
It's
thing.
the fire department thin blue line, but it's red. And that, to me, yeah.
It was no, it was like the fire department logo.
No. Also the red thin line.
All right.
That was what I said. And those stickers, those kind of people can go either way with homophobia, in my experience.
She wasn't mean.
She wasn't mean, but I'm curious if we were straight, if she would have been nicer.
I don't think she would have. I think she was just...
You think she was born rude?
Yeah. I mean, maybe
Assigned
not.
Rude at birth?
Possibly. I don't know. But anyway, so I'm like, go. Leave me here. I'll stand at the edge of this horrible woman's garage with my file cabinet drawer, and I'll wait. I'm like, you just get the baby home, bring him back with me, and I'll
bring back
carry
one
this file cabinet. And
yeah.
it's going to be like a 25-minute round trip, functionally.
Yeah.
For Morgan to do that and to bring the baby back. And so I am in this cold bad garage. I have Morgan's location pulled up. I have no AirPods.
Oh my God.
Thank you. This woman is just like pitter-pattering around. She like pops her little head in as you're driving in a way is like, you guys must live pretty close? And I'm like, yeah. And she didn't say it's snotty. She said it kind of like laughy, but I was like, yeah. Like, I'm not, no.
Now we're not friends.
Now we're not friends. You missed the opportunity to be my friend.
And I'm lovely.
Yes. And so she's like, okay, I'm just going to back my car up. Is that like, you guys aren't going to need the backup. You just got that, right? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, all right. So she backs her car up because I guess she's going to move stuff. And as I'm standing there, I'm like, am I in your way? Do you need me to move? And she's like, no, you're okay. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'll just keep being here, but I don't say anything. So she's just like pittering around. I'm just like staring at my phone. It's like so wet. And then I'm just like existing. And I don't know if she was smoking in the backyard for like the full 20 minutes.
I don't know how long
like,
it takes to smoke a cigarette.
I'm just like I think that's too long. I don't know if she was chain smoking in the back. Cigarette smokers, weigh in. How long is normal? Because it just smells so much like cigarette smoke for so long. And so I'm just like getting a migraine as I'm like sitting here. I finally like sit down, crisscross applesauce. I'm like, maybe I can get some work done. And then I'm like, no, I can't do a voiceover because she's loudly listening to TikToks in the other room. And she doesn't have any AirPods either. Fine, whatever. So I text Morgan and I'm like, I've cooled down from my frustration at Morgan, which I hope I wasn't like.
No. I think if the roles were reversed, I would have also been frustrated.
The energy was that I was crashing out. And in my brain,
the other thing is like, we are obviously obsessed with being parents.
Yeah.
But this is the kind of stuff we've always done. I've been like,
That's
should we
true.
go get this incredibly heavy free thing in Florida?
Constantly.
So heavy. It's so heavy. Can we go get it for free?
Yeah.
And we had it for years. That was like our TV entertainment center.
We painted it blue.
Love that thing.
Yeah.
We have tons of stories similar to this.
Yes.
Except now we also have an 18-month-old.
There is.
Who's losing his freaking mind.
And I just want him to be doing well. So anyway.
Because he loves us. He is like in that phase where he really wants to be next to us basically all the
like
time.
Constantly.
So
anyway, so I'm in my brain. I was like, if Morgan had just asked this horrible woman, are there stairs? Do I need another, like, what do I need to do? Like, how deep is this thing? And then I'm like, no, because, like, I wouldn't have asked those things.
Right.
I would have assumed, in my brain, a file cabinet is, like, this wide.
It just didn't feel that wide in the picture. That long,
literally
I guess.
So, like depth.
I'm going to measure it, and I'll pop it on the screen.
It's crazy. It's like, it feels like it's a Hannah's length.
It
wide.
literally does feel like it's that wide.
It's very, very deep, which is, again, great for our purpose.
Yeah, I think we're only going
to... Also, since the 1940s, they've been oiling it up with this orange grease. So I'm getting orange grease all over me. And I'm like, well,
the
great.
inside of
this
the file cabinets are pretty clean. But because we take the drawers out, where the drawers like sit, like the track, they're covered in orange goop.
In goopy stuff.
Also, I don't know if you know this, when you're moving something that has drawers and you're like trying to walk it downstairs, the drawers just keep opening and banging into you.
It was awful. It was so horrible. So anyway, I'm covered in this weird goop, and I'm like, I can't even work. I just have to sit here for like 25 minutes. I'm having a terrible time. And then I'm like becoming less angry because I'm like, I would have done the same thing. So I like text Morgan. I'm like, hey, if you could just be as quick as possible, as if she wasn't going to be quick. Obviously she was going to. And she's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, it's okay. Like, I'm just so cold. I'm really not mad.
We're also so wet.
I'm so cold. I'm so damp. My least favorite things to be cold and wet, which I actually did so much of later. Like in an hour turnaround.
Yeah.
That's what I went and did for many hours. But anyway, that's what I was experiencing.
Yeah, so I go to pick up Felix, and I see that her car is blocking them, and they're like shuffling in with the file cabinet, and we like shove it in our Yaris's back seat or what is it, trunk,
but hatchback,
and we drive home. So I've brought up the files, I've brought up the drawers,
right, the X-Files,
and now Felix and I have to go get the cabinet part out of Mimi's car. What I will say is we do have a dolly downstairs. If we can get it on the dolly, it'll be easier.
It'll be fine. If
we can't,
I'm throwing it into the road.
I don't know what we'll do. The bottom of it is super scratched up from us walking it downstairs.
Right.
Like it's a freaking Easter Island head.
Now, I don't think that the bottom of it...
Oh, I don't care.
I don't care. It's not going to fall.
It is definitely it is sturdy.
Yeah, and it's deep.
And it's deep, and it's going to fit a lot. I'm going to wipe all the cabinets down. I think basically all of tomorrow I'm organizing the fabric for this video. And I'm very excited. When I look at the fabric, I get really inspired also, so.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go do that.
Let's do it quickly because Mimi's got the baby.
Today is a day I've been looking forward to for a long time. We got the filing cabinet yesterday, and so today I'm going to organize all of the fabric. I have to clean the filing cabinet first. Actually, first, I need to clean this space. There's a lot of cups and stuff over here by the computer. This is my current sweet tea. It is 12:19 right now. Felix and I have to film some stuff together during nap, which will be at 1:30. So I think my hope and my dream is I can at least clean this and get ready to start organizing before nap filming. And then I also, after nap, have the rest of tonight to finish organizing this and then edit this video. I definitely believe all of that is possible. First, let's clean up some of the stuff. I think I'm gonna do that in time lapse so that it happens really fast for you. Okay, I already got too hot and overstimulated, so I took my sweater off, and I don't feel like putting on a bra. So if you are too distracted by my beautiful bosoms to watch the rest of the video, then that's your right as a pervert, I guess. Okay, so I think first, I don't know if you can see, but I've got a lot of the fabric that I sorted through on the ground here. Most of it's still folded pretty nice. I think I'm gonna put the file cabinet, I guess some people have said, here. I gotta take this off the wall. I think maybe having such a big thing here will keep us from getting this stream computer area cluttered, because there won't be a place to just shove things, versus if something had to get cluttered, I do think the other window that we're not directly sitting next to is better. Sorry. This is a plant light that I will be keeping. I did give one away to the Really Free Market last time, because I put that one away for months to be do I really need this? Something that I actually haven't talked about that much is before Felix and I got pregnant, we had a 2-year infertility journey, if you didn't know. During that 2 years, I got really into plants. We had so many plants. And then when I got pregnant, people talked about how it's the most exhausting thing. And there's just even if you are the most empathetic person, unless you've done it, I really don't think you can understand. I guess, actually, I have no idea. I don't have a chronic illness with fatigue, so maybe it's very similar to that, but it was truly, I expected to be physically tired, but I was so mentally tired from even the thought of texting my best friends back. So taking care of plants really wasn't something I was super capable of doing. So Felix kind of maintained them during the pregnancy, and then once we had a newborn, everything with the plants went out the window. A bunch of our plants died. A bunch of them were very worse for wear. So Hannah and Nat and Lydia and some of our other friends basically adopted a bunch of them. All that I have is this guy and the pumpkin. All of them need to be up potted in the spring, I think. But this guy and the pumpkin, I don't remember what he is. Snake plant, actually doing super well. And then 2 different kinds of pothos, and I've got a different silver pothos that's propagating that I really need to plant. But I've always heard you shouldn't up pot or plant plants in the winter, even with grow lights. They're off right now so that the lighting is slightly better than it would be. Yeah, sorry. All of that to say, I like having plants in the window. I like being able to access them. Oh, and that's why I'm keeping the plant light. So I think I'm going to put the filing cabinet here. Let me put this down. I think I can move the filing cabinet enough to get it from where it's at to over here to start cleaning it. I think I can do that alone. By the way, when the baby was born, he was a preemie for a little bit, and preemie size. Is that not so crazy? You guys have seen the back of his head. Can you believe that a person who's like up and walking around and talking used to be this small? That's so cuckoo bananas. Yeah. Okay, here we go. I can do it. I've done many hard things in my life. We're at 19,998 subscribers as I'm recording this. It's really close. I do think, realistically, not to brag, I do think it'll probably happen before the end of the year, considering we only need 2 more right now. I'm not going to call it actually 20,000 until it's like 20,005 though, because any content creator, like, you're constantly also losing followers. Either people being like, actually, I'm not interested in this, or like the site like deleting bot accounts and stuff. Anyway, okay. I don't know, guys. Let's do some girl measuring. Okay, it's definitely gonna stick out a little, which I expected. What I'm not sure of is if it's gonna be so much that it's annoying and we're like constantly bumping into it. Because it's metal, you know? It could go on the left of where these plants are now. For the purpose of right now, it can stay there while I clean it. That's fine. Okay, I'm back after a little lunch break. I'm gonna clean this cabinet. Yeah, as you can see, it's not horrible. At the bottom, there's some, you know, some loose paper. But you can see there's just like goop in some of the gears. I think Felix is right. I think it's probably from like, I don't know, like oiling them. But I need to clean these, and then I gotta clean the drawers before we start putting fabric in it. All right, it definitely, like, it could be cleaner. I could be cleaning every like nook and cranny. I'm not doing that. I feel like what'll matter is cleaning the actual cabinets really well. They're not as gross either. But like this part that's gunky is what's going on the outside of the cabinet. My only concern is like maybe that will matter with like the things that are underneath it. Does that make sense? But I don't know. Yeah, the more I'm using this, the more I'm definitely gonna have to move it to the other side. But that's okay.
One hour later.
All right, she's cleaned. I'll probably wipe off the front again once we get her in the final position. But she's clean, her insides are clean. Felix and I have to film some other stuff, and then we'll probably move this to the final place over to the left. Hi. Before I start putting fabric in it. I'm also debating making my own bolts of fabric by wrapping them around cardboard, and then I could just take a whole thing when I need it. But I don't know. Yes, I look very cute now. You may clap briefly. Actually, there was a little over part that went to this that was part of the ad, but obviously it's a little too hot to wear something like that. Okay, I've moved everything. Well, no. I moved some of the stuff out of the way. And I've just realized that I put that stuff in the way of the filing cabinet getting over here. So I have to move it a second time. That's okay. That's part of the process. I do think I'm going to move the filing cabinet first before we put the fabric in, and that way I don't have to, I don't know, because then I could just put the drawers like on the ground, organize them, and then put them in. I don't know. Regardless, I have to move the stuff that I put in the way again. Such as, say la vie or whatever. I guess it's not funny if I said it correctly, but. Oh, we hit 20,000. By the way. Again, I'm sure it'll go down a couple times before it goes and stays up, but. Thank you so much. Okay, I think it looks amazing. I also put, Felix has a little like sewing machine bench that honestly they don't use very much, but I don't think we should get rid of it because they do use it sometimes. and I put my sewing machine on top of it. In the new year, I am making a sewing machine bag. I'll throw up a picture. I haven't bought the pattern yet, but I'm very excited about it. It will be very challenging, I think, though. So I will need a lot of help from Mimi. But right now I've got this giant Marshalls bag and my sewing machine fits in it great. What I need now is I think I am gonna sort it without the cabinets first. I'm gonna open them a little bit because they still need to kind of air out from where I wiped them down. Yeah, I've already sorted it a little bit. Like I've got a scraps section. I think I'm gonna put, we have several different scrap areas. So this is like itty bitty teeny tiny scraps. What I do with these, what I plan to do is I've seen where people take these teeny tiny scraps and stuff like either like a name banner like this, or like a garland, something that like probably isn't gonna need to be like washed a lot, but it would still be able to be washed and dried because it's just fabric. So you don't have to use your polyfill, which you should use for like stuffed animals and other things. So I am keeping them. It is like a little bit ugly, but also I feel like it's a little bit ugly in like sort of an endearing way because you can tell like, oh, this is a container from cheese balls that I've reused. And like, I don't know, like it's a little like metaphor maybe, or a reminder, maybe that's a better word, for like using what you have and like reduce, reuse, recycle. But also like, I think maybe scrap should just be like the entire top. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I know that the way that you're supposed to load this, it said on the one of the sides of the cabinets is like the heaviest stuff on the bottom. I'm actually thinking of putting Felix's CDs and DVDs in the bottom because we have so many of them from all the completely legal copies that we've made of just our home videos, and certainly not turning VHSs into DVDs because that would be pirating and that would be illegal. But anyway, so we have so many of them that like people have gifted us like blank CDs and DVDs. So, and they're like kind of heavy, and they are also kind of like something you would go looking for when you need them. And I am going to label these, which I think would help Felix be looking for what they're looking for. Anyway, and I'm looking at getting, I know I just complained about Facebook Marketplace, but I'm looking at getting for $25 essentially just like a giant IKEA table. I just need to figure out if the height would work for a desk, but then it would like be clear underneath, like it would be free, which would be less bulky, and I would really love it after having to not be able to put my knees under the desk for so long. Yeah, let's start with, I'm trying to decide if I want to make bolts. If you don't know what that is, I'll put a picture up. Basically, I saw this girlie who was like, I bought this thing on Amazon, but quite literally it was basically like a nice piece of cardboard that she wrapped her fabric around, and then you can like, she didn't have a filing cabinet. I combined it with my filing cabinet idea. But then I could just put the bolts, like I could cut them a little bit smaller than the filing cabinet, then wrap it around that, and then I could just take out the bolt that I need. Because you're gonna unfurl it anyway, at least mine, because they're not actual bolts of fabric, they're like fabric, or they're like bed sheets size. Then I could just take out the entire like thing that I want as if it was like a binder, instead of having to like flip through all of them folded on top of each other. As I'm saying it, I'm just convincing myself more to do it. But maybe I'm only gonna do it with the biggest ones. So maybe I start with scrap bin, put all the scraps on the table, see how many I have, and see if I can fit them all on the top thing. Is this even gonna fit? Like, is it? That's nice. I also forgot I need to open these to let them dry out. This bottom one's a little wonky, which is the other reason I want to put the CDs and DVDs in it. Because you wouldn't need to, at any point, take the whole thing out. Whereas, like, maybe you'd have to do that with the fabric. Should I make this a time lapse? Probably, because then it would go faster, huh? Let's do that. I'll put some music on the YouTube. Okay, it looks amazing. I still have to make the little labels, but here we have Scrap Town. We got medium-sized scraps, the teeny ones I was talking about. These are like crazy ones that I don't know if Felix wants them, but it's like, just like ones that aren't shaped like anything. Yeah, so I don't know. But, and then we've got room on the side here. If there's other things I wanted to put here, like I might put sewing machine extras up here. Then, these are things we have like a medium amount of, so like a twin fitted sheet or less. So, you know, like, yeah. Things we've used partially, or maybe they were thrifted, so they're just kind of small, or yeah. Then, on the fourth one, from the top, this is like weird stuff. So like these are woven blankets that I really want to turn into sweaters, like quarter zips, which I've seen people do, like things that are shirts. These I'm going to make into little bags, but like they're placemats, you know, they're not like fabric. So this is like a weird drawer. Oh, also these things on the side are Squishmallow heads. But the real star of the show, you guys know. Look at that. Look at that. It looks amazing. It also all fit perfectly. I could like push and get maybe one or two more in here, but this is all I had of like a lot of fabric. Oh, I also, in the time lapse, I don't know if you saw, I put duct tape on the side here because I can show you on the bottom one. There's like metal teeth. Yeah. You can kind of see it right here. Yeah, they're really sharp. It's because that thing back there, you can push forward to like keep your files steady. But obviously I didn't need that because I'm not keeping files in there. So I am gonna move the CDs in here and the DVDs into that bottom one so that they're out of the way. And then I'm just gonna vacuum this area and we'll be done. Oh, I need to make the labels, but then we'll be done. All right, final result, vacuumed. Look at this. This looks great. We actually now have a completely empty tote because this all had fabric in it. And then, as you know, there were like several fabric boxes. This is batting, and I couldn't remember what it was called, but like the cross-stitching type fabric that is for punch needle. Our mending box. These are some Felix projects. Yeah. A couple of things that were just like on the floor now put here. Again, is this the most aesthetic art supply setup? No, but everything is up. Most of it is labeled. This is Felix's like current projects cart. I don't hate it. I don't know if it's really helping them complete projects, but they are all in one spot mostly. It honestly wasn't that bad. It did take basically all day, but I would say that's only because I kept getting distracted by like side quests, which is the nature of my life, you know, I'm not complaining. But yeah, this is something I've been wanting to do for, well, only like a week or so. But the filing cabinet was available for $5. The further I get away from the experience, the more I'm like, it was worth it, but it was horrible. I would say if you're going to do this, definitely communicate a lot with the person you're getting filing cabinet from. And maybe see if you can borrow a dolly. But yeah, it's going to be amazing. I cannot wait to sew so much more next year. Anyone who I'm friends with, who I'm planning on giving a Christmas gift to, they will be late because I have been doing this, which has taken up a lot of my time. So, but everyone will still like them. I feel like as an adult, it's who cares if it's late, you know? It's the thought that counts. But yeah, I am so excited this is done. I was very inspired by helping Mimi with her craft rearranging. Obviously, we also cleaned our room a lot, and that also inspired me to get this done. So, yeah, only like 5 more days left of Vlogmas. Is that right? Crazy. Crazy. Thank you so much for 20,000 subscribers. That is a huge milestone. I can't believe that we hit it. It was like a huge goal of mine by the end of the year to get to 20,000 because I think we started the year with right at about 10,000. I just, from the bottom of my heart, I wish that there were more words for me to express how grateful I am that y'all watch these videos. And every person who supports us on Patreon helps us pay our rent and buy our groceries. Every person who watches one of these videos helps us pay our rent and buy our groceries. It's been a really tough year for content creators, especially like queer, fat,
content creators and then also our friends who are a part of other minorities, it's been really rough. Really rough. Brands do not want to work with anyone who is not like a Republican white thin person. It feels like, at least from where we're standing. So we make the majority of our money through these videos and through Patreon. And it is all that more rewarding, I feel like, because it means that the people who are helping us have this weird job are doing it out of like the goodness of their hearts and like the quality of our content instead of us having to always rely on making ads for brands, which I also love doing, especially when brands like let us be creative and stuff. I do genuinely like that part of the job when we're allowed to be ourselves, but it is so like unbelievable that we're able to do this job. So thank you so much. Okay, that's all I have for you. Enjoy the bloopers. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Happy 20th. On the 20th day of Vlogmas, Morgan gave to you a new idea on how to store fabric. Or whatever. Whatever you want. Put whatever you want in a filing cabinet. It looks neat because you can shut it and no one can look inside unless you allow them to. One more thing, me again. Mimi would like everyone to know that the painting next to her craft area is not actually of The Last Supper. It is The Last Supper, but it's characters from The Office. As we were watching the video, Papa was like, people are going to think that you're super religious and you just have a tiny Last Supper up. And she was like, no, it's not that. So here is an overlay of what it actually looks like. We thrifted it for her as a gift for like $3, I think. And we thought it was so funny. I'm sure the person who bought it originally paid way more than $3. I would say it was worth about $3 of a laugh. But I do love to look at it. Okay, now enjoy the bloopers. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Oh, I forgot about this one on the ground. Your grudge baby's done cooking. That was so funny. This is stuff we have a lot of. It's so cute. Moving pieces.
When did you say the thing about? Or like over of like we've got it in the we're moving the we take the file.
Most of them at least. And then I could just take out the one that I want instead of having I'm making it wobble more by touching the table. Anyone who I'm friends with who I plan on giving a Christmas gift. Anyone who I'm friends with who I'm planning on giving a Christmas gift to Christmas. I forgot how deep it is again.